Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am, of course, Hemingway Jones, and this is our little corner of the internet where we speak about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling, just about anything and everything that's going to keep you inspired, including lately dark academia. Quite a bit of dark academia on this channel. For as light as I usually am, it's kind of a heavy subject sometimes, but we enjoy it, don't we? I see many of the usual suspects are here. It's always a pleasure. If you've been following along on these lives and you enjoy them, I invite you to subscribe. I do hope you do. Hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live, although it's usually Tuesday nights at 8. Thank you, everyone, for the likes. That helps the YouTube gods. Lets them know that we're out here and that people are interested. So I appreciate that. I hope everyone is well. We have a kind of a bad weather situation today. It poured here in Massachusetts. Quite a few communities were flooded. My daughter's camp had a tornado warning, and they ended up in a basement to take shelter. Luckily, there were no issues, but always scary when you have something like that and you're not near your child, of course. But everything's fine, no twisters from what I hear. But, always a scary situation. So I hope you guys are dealing with the crazy weather okay out there, everyone. I see Judy Anderson's saying hello. Hello, Judy Anderson. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Wolf Kate Witch as well. Kate, always a joy. Lots of lovely folks out there. We have been doing some Zoom meetings on the with the Cognoscenti and Illuminati members of the channel. So we're going to do a lot more of those. Probably do it again at the end of the month. So very excited about that. It's super fun to get to know you guys, to get to see you all. And I am going to have some people actually on the live show. I think it'd be fun, have people on 10, 15 minutes, do an interview, hear what you're into. And so everyone else can get to know you too. Why not? That would be super fun for Illuminati and Cognoscenti members. So lots of fun there. Also, next week, we will be joined by the lovely and talented pen boy Roy. So that should be fun. Really excited to get to know him better. Lovely guy. So pretty interesting stuff. Some other things to tell you. I always like to do some announcements so you guys know what's going on. I will be recording with Tom Oddo on his podcast live on August 25th. Tom Oddo, another lovely fellow. Definitely excited for that. So that is huge news. So very, very huge news there. So excited for that. But tonight on the show, we're going to talk a little bit. I know I picked up a lot of new members. Welcome. If you're watching and you're new to the channel, extra special welcome to you. I am very grateful to have you. I don't take any of you for granted. I appreciate you spending time here. I made this channel to be interesting, engaging, a little different than anyone else when possible, and just to be fun too. There's some fun stuff coming up. It's not all heavy subject matter, but lots of new members. I want to welcome you all. But along with new members kind of comes new critics, like people who just don't really know what we're aiming for here, what our aspirations are, and they throw out some dispersions and things. And most of the people are very good natured, but it just reminds me of kind of making some clarifications and sort of pointing the channel in the direction where we are. Oh, we got a lovely super chat. Thank you very much from AdaptX 199. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous. I appreciate the super chats too, guys. Always good to keep the lights on in the channel. Trying to make the channel self-sufficient, and we're we're a modest channel. YouTube doesn't pay us a lot of attention, so we don't get a big share of those ad revenue dollars that are out there or anything. I really do count on the members and the super chats to pay the bills. So I'm trying to make it a self-sustaining enterprise, so that maybe it'll stand separate from me personally one day. That's my goal. But so I appreciate that. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the super chat. So thank you very much. So there's something else I want to let you guys know about, and it's something I'm really excited about, and I sort of feel left out about, and that's our good friends of the channel. Oh, speaking of good friends from the channel, Wolf Kate Witch with $5. Thank you, Kate. That's very kind of you. You already do so much for this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Everyone, Wolf Kate Witch, thank you. So one of the things is we have a good friend of the channel. I'm sure you guys know Brendan Schmidt of Atlas Stationers. And Brendan is having a sidewalk sale. I think it's a Chicago thing. And I think a lot of the downtown businesses in Chicago take part in this. And evidently it's been going on for 36 years. So that's older than Brendan is. So that's kind of a big deal for Brendan. So this sidewalk sale is next weekend, August 17th and 18th. And the cool thing that he's doing, and the reason I really wanted to mention it to you guys, is there are some cool seminars that I wish I could go to here. And I kind of feel a little bit left out that I can't go to this. I'm actually going somewhere else, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. But let me tell you some of these seminars in case you're in Chicago and it's something you can do. So at 10 a.m. is Fountain Pen 101 with Bruce. I'm not sure if it's Gillet or Gillet, but Brace Gillet. And then at 11 is Inks 101 with Ferris Wheel Press. I mean, if you're going to learn about inks, who else but Ferris Wheel Press? Like, that's so fun. And then at 2 p.m. on the 17th, Planning and Creative Journaling with Coralie and Aida of Cora Crea Crafts. That's pretty brilliant. That's super fun. And then the next day on the 18th, we got Fountain Pen Collecting with Kerry Yeager. Do you guys know Kerry Yeager? He's one of the folks from Kenro and Estherbrook. He's a lovely guy. He is, if you go to a pen show, Kerry will be there, and Brian too. Lovely people, knowledgeable, enthusiastic, just some of the best people you ever want to meet. So Kerry Yeager will be there. And then this is fun. On the 18th is a Q&A with both Brendan and his brother Brian. Q&A with Brendan. Somebody record that for me. I would love to put that up on the channel. That's so fun. And then 2 o'clock is Calligraphy with Lori Paolinetti. So that is like a killer lineup for an event I wish I could go to. But alas, I am going to the Mount Washington Hotel. So I will be somewhere else that week. I do have... wow, look at this. There are some more super chats I need to recognize. The mighty Stephen Van He, 10 pounds. Thank you so much, Stephen. I really appreciate that. That is absolutely lovely of you. Thank you. Helps keep the lights on. The lights are on now. Although if the thunderstorms come back, they might not be on for long, but they are on right now. So thank you, Stephen. Very kind. And then next up is the mighty Lad Gardner. Laddie's got fantastic handwriting. Lad is in the members group. He is an Illuminati. He writes as if you're getting a letter from the 18th century. Just so brilliant. And he's been working on it, and he's doing a fantastic job. So very impressed with Laddie. Thank you. You're a generous guy. You already do so much. Laddie's one of my sounding boards. I'll email him and ask him if something sounds like a good idea for the channel or something like that. He's a fantastic guy. And AdaptX is back with $9.99. Thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Really kind. I appreciate it. Very, very great stuff. So thank you guys. Whew, can hardly believe it. So somebody else who needs to be recognized, I was kind of hoping they'd be here, but I don't see her in the comments. Terry Edginton, if you are here, would you please raise your hand? Raise your hand. I can't see you. But I need to recognize Terry, guys, and I'm going to tell you why. Terry Edginton sent me a pack of stuff, like a care package that probably will take me a few months to get through. There was so much stuff in it. For one thing, there was a pen case that looks like it holds about 100 pens. It's absolutely brilliant. She sent probably not less than 7 or 8 fountain pens. I do have one here. I'll show you in a minute. She sent something else that's pretty amazing. Terry, there you are. Terry, I'm just recognizing you. So I'm really glad you're here. Everyone, give a big wave to Terry for supporting the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, Judy Anderson with $13.99 from Canada, Canadian dollars. Thank you. Thank you so much, Judy. Canada, one of my favorite countries. Chateau Frontenac in Quebec, one of my favorite places to stay in the whole world. So, Judy, I appreciate that. You already do so much for this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Puppet Access, thank you. $10. Thank you. For my pen budget. Yes, the pen budget. We're going to get to which pen I've decided to, too. Thank you, Puppet Access. You are awesome. Just truly awesome. Thank you all. But Terry says it holds 96 pens, the pen holder. But I do want to share a few things that she gave me. So generous. So guess what, guys? I now own an Opus 88. Oh, this is a problem. It's kind of upside down. I'm going to have to do everything backwards because my camera's backward, but I'll figure it out. I can't open the Opus 88, but I do own it. There we go. So look at this. Isn't this beautiful, right? It has this pen, which, by the way, I never had an Opus 88 before, and I'd never used one. I had no idea what a monster they were. Now, I'm going to go back to me for a second because I want to adjust this. This is a little wonky. I just want to see if I can fix it. And I didn't want you guys to get a little dizzy. So let me see. Nope, it did not fix it. Okay, well, we're just going to wing it. It's live. There's not much we can do. So here is, it's hard to even figure out which way this thing is facing. Okay, now we got it. So I had no idea, for one thing, how big these pens were. But it's a lot of pen. It's really beautiful. So it's got a flexi nib. Flexi nibs are always fun. I know it has a unique fill system. I don't know much about it, but I guess I have directions. And of course, I have an eyedropper. So if I ever want to take that step, I can. So this is really exciting. I'm kind of excited to maybe put something funky in here, something sparkly, and I'm not sure what. But look at this pen. It's really gorgeous. I think this is going to show up on the channel because it's so interesting. It's a Medusa. And you know I like any excuse to talk about classical poetry or society, which gets into the whole pretentious thing, which I'll also cover this evening. So I'm super excited about this, but there's something else I wanted to share with you too. Set this aside. I wanted to share that she was making fun of me in a very good-natured way. No, she did not give me the Egyptomania, but she gave me something almost better. So, as you guys know, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. I'm so sorry about this camera. It's sort of backward. It's just doing something funky. So, this is the Egyptomania, and you guys may have seen me on my lives and on my desk. I've often had it wrapped in this microfiber so that it wouldn't get scratched, and also because I like to polish it. So she saw that and decided to send along this, the official Mont Blanc case for it. And it has this really cool hieroglyph, and of course the Mont Blanc symbol. The only thing I noticed, and Terry, maybe you noticed this, is you got to be careful with the zipper. Wow, this is really strange where this, I can't figure out where this camera is. Sorry. So you put it, you just have to kind of hold it down so the zipper doesn't touch it. Do you see that? So once you get the hang of that, though, it's great. And it's so beautiful. Zip it up like this. Look at that, huh? Classic, right? So beautiful. Really love it. Of course, that's a hieroglyph and the beetle. Isn't that gorgeous? Thank you, Terry. That is so awesome. So kind. So kind of Terry. So that's really exciting. So I went to work today and I carried my Egyptomania with me, which was really fun to have it in my new case. Super fun. So it's really beautiful. Still trying to get this camera sorted. Look at that. I just want you to get it in all its glory. Isn't that beautiful? And I use pen cases. This is how I get my pens to and from the office. So I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I am very careful with this. I just hold it down like that and pull it out. A lot of pen cases have zippers you need to be careful about if you want to keep your pens relatively scratch free, or at least no superfluous scratches, right? So that is awesome. I'm sure I'm going to be sharing some other items from Terry, who's a huge supporter of the channel and very, very kind. So thank you very much for that. It's good to have pens, guys. As much as I try to pare things down and be like a quasi-minimalist, I need pens to kind of keep the channel going because it's more inspiration. It's good for lists. It's just good to have them. So I have been obsessing myself over which pen I will buy because I've decided to buy a pen for the channel, and I wanted to do something different than what I normally do. And I think I chose one. I think I have one. And it's a little over the top and it's a little obnoxious, but I wanted you guys to I wanted to share this with you. I wanted something that's a little different in my collection and would stand out. I wanted something that had an interesting nib, sort of a cohesive fill system, so it'd be very elegant. You could just fill it on the spot and not have to unscrew anything. Well, I guess you have to unscrew the piston, right? Well, you know what I mean. So I just wanted something that would complement my collection but also stand out. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm not 100% on it, but I'm going to try to show you all through the wonders of technology. Hopefully you guys can see that. So this is an Aurora Optima with one of the dumbest names I've ever seen. It's an O Solo Mio. That's the color. It's a terrible name for the color. It looks like a Delta Dolce Vita, but I really like it. I like orange and black. I like pens that are a little bit obnoxious because there's some other colors here. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Colors. Oh, page. I might be having some problems here. Yeah, see, the blue is a lot more tasteful, I think. Maybe even this, right? But I just think this is really going to stand out, and it's just going to look beautiful when I film with it. I can imagine taking this to museums and doing another Dark Academia list, and it just really suits me. And I'll have to say, part of the reason I bought it, ladies and gentlemen, is that I saw it and then I wanted to buy it. And then I said, no, I'm not going to buy it. And then for like a week, it just ate away at me. And one of the things I really like about it is how vintagey it looks. But I haven't bought it yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just thinking about it. I want to recognize Kirk Geisinger, who was kind enough to donate $10 to the channel. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. Another member of the channel. So you already do so much. So thank you very much. So yeah, I'm thinking of going to Aurora. What do you guys think about that? Should be a lot of fun, right? See a lot of love for the I see some love for the Aurora. Tom Morley, one of my great sounding boards too, someone who gives me a lot of good feedback. The Aurora nibs are immediately recognizable in the hand when you write with them. See, that's the kind of experience I'm aspiring for. So that is super, super fun. Allie J says she heard great things. The great Allie J. Allie J can fold a letter like origami, like James Olmos is that Edward James Olmos? His character in Blade Runner did all those origami little unicorns and things. Well, she can fold a letter like that. Just so amazing. She could take a long letter and fold it into a postcard. Absolutely brilliant. So really good stuff. Lad Gardner says, looks like marmalade. Maybe that's what I'll do. Take it to England with me and photograph it next to the marmalade. Orange marmalade is one of my favorites, believe it or not. I don't often have jellies and jams and things, but if I'm in England and we're having traditional breakfast and toast comes, I'm going for that orange marmalade, and it's going on my toast, and I'm going to not feel guilty about that. Speaking of English breakfast, this evening, my lovely wife made us English breakfast for dinner, which is one of my favorites. I can't eat eggs, though. That's the only thing. I'm very sort of missed out on the eggs. I just can't eat them. Kaylee is a fan of Aurora Orange. One of my grails. Finally got one and loved it. Excellent endorsement. Simon Krupa says, excellent colors for Halloween. I thought of that too. Maybe I could work it into a Halloween episode. So it could be super fun. So really, really good stuff. Lots of stuff happening. It's kind of a grail pen, guys. So it's kind of a big decision, and I'm like 99% of the way there, but I wanted to share it with you guys. Bangers and pork and beans. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it was. No toast, though. My wife is gluten intolerant, so we don't have a lot of toast, sadly. Allie J says, I have never been compared to a movie character. Allie, you know this channel. You know how I am. So thanks for the likes, guys. I see the likes. I appreciate it. You guys have been very generous this evening. So you probably want me to talk about the main topic. And I will. But first, I need to show you something. You know how I like to put things off, right? You know that about me. So my wife bought these. Aren't these cool? Do you know I'm crazy about tile? My wife and I share a love of tile. We love painted tiles. These are made into coasters. But what they are really good reproductions of the Islamic, I believe these are Islamic, tiles on the wall of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, right by El Jaleo, the painting by John Singer Sargent. But these are gorgeous tiles. Just happy to have them. I've already used them as backdrops on B-roll. So you're going to see these. And how did I end up buying tiles? from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum? Well, the easiest way possible. I went to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. This is where I get a little immodest, but if you think the New York footage was great, wait until you see this Gardner Museum footage. For one thing, there was a lot more light, so I was able to film in high definition. It's just so inspiring, so beautiful. The script is written. We're going to talk about the museum. We're going to talk about the theft. We're going to talk about dark academia in practice, out in the field. It's going to be an epic video, I hope. I still have to edit it, but I have a script. I have B-roll. I need to shoot some A-roll in studio, but I'm really excited about it. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That is coming. At this point, probably late September, it will air. So it should be super, super fun. So I'm excited about that. Okay, now I mentioned that we have a lot of new followers, which I'm very excited about. But when you kind of get exposed to more people, you get people who come in and just are a little confused about the direction of the channel and how we see things and how we kind of approach this hobby. And one of the criticisms that I hear quite a bit is that I'm pretentious. And it reaches back to one of my early critics said that I was the most pretentious man on YouTube. And when I read that, I was like so happy. I wanted to make t-shirts that said that. I just thought it was just so great. I think a lot of people don't really fully appreciate the definition of pretentious. The one thing that's always sort of dismisses the case against me on pretentiousness is that I don't care what anybody thinks of me ever. It's a gift I have. I couldn't make my YouTubes if I did. I'm out journaling everywhere, filming everywhere. I don't have that fear that a lot of people do of sort of expressing yourself and just being out there and trying new things and reaching. And a vital component of being pretentious is that you're trying to make everyone think that you're very, very cultured when in fact you aren't. And here's a concrete example of pretentiousness. These books have been behind me for months. These are my books, okay? This is my study. I write in here and I work in here. If I had not read a single one of these books, I think that would put me in pretentious territory, okay? The fact that I'm looking behind me, there's maybe 3 books I see that I haven't read, that I own. And some of them, a few I bought to collect, and I have no intention to read. But some of them I will read. I haven't got to yet. But that's pretentious. It's sort of fronting a culture, a level of culture you don't actually have, right? And the funny part is that you guys know how self-deprecating I am. If anything, I'm always struggling over pronouncing words, reaching for the proper definition of things, kind of pushing myself to express myself further, to get past my little speech impediment that you guys all know I have, and all that. And it sort of gives me this concept that pretentious is this word that's also used as a kind of a fear on the part of the person that hurls it. They see something that I feel like they like, but it doesn't quite fit into their comfortable habit of labeling things or what they expect. And I feel like sorry, I'm laughing because I'm reading Shane's comment. I'll put it up here so that you guys can share in it. I feel like they feel, I don't want to say intimidated, but just they're having a hard time categorizing something they see and they just say, oh, it's pretentious. And then they'll probably think about it and realize they like it. I do feel like maybe with something like dark academia, if you're saying like, I want to be more cultured and you're not, and dark academia gets you there, then I don't feel like that's like a stairway to pretentiousness. That's a stairway to acquiring knowledge. That's something that helps to keep you inspired, which is why I brought it into this channel. I mean, you hear me at the beginning, I say it's about anything and everything that's going to keep you inspired. Journaling is not easy. Writing, expressing yourself, being in front of people. Or how about thinking of a new way to talk about a nib when you've already spoken about it for like 30 times? You need to constantly refresh your perspective, your vocabulary, the way words go together. It's like being a jazz musician. You're up playing the same song, but you have to riff on it, or you guys are going to get bored. So that's sort of an aspirational cultural climb. It's not about saying, look at me, I'm so sophisticated. I mean, I wish I were fluent in Italian. I've been studying that language for 20 years and I'm borderline conversational. Like, does it make me pretentious if I write in Italian? No, I'm working on it. I'm working on my poetry. I'm working on my writing. So I think by extension too, I think a lot of you guys can identify with this. And it's the whole idea that you shouldn't apologize for your education. You shouldn't apologize for your enthusiasm. I will never apologize for my education because I paid for it myself. And it took me 7 years to get my degree, my undergrad. And then everything I've done since, much of it up here, is all self-directed. So I made this, and whatever this is, I'm proud of it. So I think if you're coming into the channel, what we're trying to do is show many perspectives on how beautiful and amazing fountain pens are. How they can inspire you, how they can even give you a rest from the noise that's in your head if you suffer, as I do, from a lot of internal negativity and sometimes depression. That looking at the gold, catching the light, and sort of glistening back to you like starfire, just takes you out of yourself for that moment and gives you this moment of transcendence, and sort of plugs you in a long line of people that have used these fantastic tools to write books, to write poems, to write plays, to write correspondences. And you are part of that stream. Staying inspired to stay within this world is beautiful. And there's nothing pretentious about it. And I would defend that against anyone. So let me see what you guys have to say. Well, here's a technical question. I'm going to throw it in and totally break the mood, but technical questions are fun. I haven't got one in a long time. Julian Cortez, in your opinion, what's the smoothest gold nib you have used? I'll have to tell you the smoothest gold nib I've ever used is on around a 20-year-old Schaefer Legacy. It has an inlaid diamond nib. It is so smooth. It's like gliding across ice. It is so brilliant. It is such a wet writer. It's like a tidal wave of ink that just lubricates that nib across any page. It's absolutely brilliant. And that pen will be making an appearance in this channel very, very soon. Terry Edgington, the most generous person I know at the moment. Don't ever apologize for your education, your life experiences, and your successes. We've earned them all. You guys have. Be proud of yourselves and don't let people pull you down. Some people pull you down too. There is sort of a, I like what Laddie says here, aspirational pretension. Exactly. You quote me all over the place. I love it. There are people that see something that's working or that's challenging or that's different and they just want to pull it down. they want to destroy it and put it into their box. But we're not going to let them do that. Hey, Wasky Squirrel popped in. How are you doing? Joining in late. Busy with my class. Wasky Squirrel's one of the busiest guys I know. How you doing, my friend? Great to see you. Always a pleasure. Tom Morley's a fan of the old Schaefer Legacy. That is a great, great pen. All right, here's another technical question. Happy to help with. What is the best flex nib fountain pen for newbies? Noriana P. Panaligan. The best flex nib for a newbie, I would probably go with something like the Fountain Pen Revolution Himalaya. Also about to make an appearance on this channel. That's a fantastic flex pen for somebody just to see if you enjoy them. And it's also a pretty great pen in general. So I really like that pen. It doesn't get a lot of love on fountain pen circles, but it can be had very cheaply. They go on sale quite a bit. The person who makes them is very, very proud of their pens. I believe it's made in India, and pens from India are absolutely brilliant. So it's one of my personal favorites. So very, very good stuff. So I see a lot of folks joining. So I do want to mention which video we have coming out this week because it's a good one. And I am super excited about it. So it is the top 5 +1 fountain pens for back to school. I think that'll be super fun. Ties in with dark academia and everything else. And I love doing lists. I hope you guys enjoy my lists. I really enjoy doing them, and you can always count and see how many I actually do. If I say 6, I'm probably doing 8. It's kind of fun. Puppet Access says, I've never gotten anything from Fountain Pen Revolution. Maybe I should. They have really good Ranga pens, ebonite ones. Just be careful that some of them can be really thick. So check the diameters before you buy them. I bought one that's too big, the Madras. I think it's a little big for me right now, but I really like their stuff. I really do. So, John Manuel, one of my great supports, lovely fellow, was on the Zoom call with me. Looking forward to it, HJ. Sounds good. I appreciate that. Oh, Wasky, are you trolling me? I think Wasky Squirrel is trolling me a little bit. He's saying, I'm soon to ink up my Lamy 2000 for school. It starts August 23rd. Well, congratulations on another year. And I don't know. I just don't see myself ever owning that pen. But who knows? We shall see. We shall see. Oh, you know what? Laddie made a good point. The Blue Dew is a great pen for flex. So that's another great option is the Blue Dew. I have a Blue Dew. I will say this though, Laddie. The Blue Dew Flex is much more extravagant. It's a bit like a zebra. But the Fountain Pen Revolution is a lot more pleasant to write with. It feels more like the Falcon nib in a good way. Because you guys know I pick on the fountains all the time. Oh, Allie J's down for the list. So that's going to be fun. And then next week, I'm really excited because next Thursday is the TWSBI VAC 700R compared to the Pilot Custom 823. And the premise is, does the TWSBI VAC scratch the itch? Is it good enough? Can you spend $70, $75? Not have to spend $340 for the Pilot Custom 823. Is it enough? We go through it. Piece by piece, part by part. I make a determination. I'm not like these channels. You ever watch a channel? I shouldn't pick on other channels. I need to. Nobody in particular. But have you ever watched a YouTube channel? Not necessarily fountain pens, but let's say it's anything, right? And then they're going to compare 2 items. And then you get to the end and they're like, well, I guess really it's up to you and how you feel. Now, that's true. And I probably say that myself. But I make a determination, guys. And anytime I compare something, I declare a winner. And I do in that video and in many of them. So I think you're going to like that because it's always fun. I got to put this up for Wasky. I love Jason. He's such a sweet guy. He sent me a nice pen too. Kaylee, it's a favorite, but I might be trolling a little bit. I know you. I know you. So the lovely Wasky Squirrel sent me this fantastic vintage Senator pen with a Bach nib that I still use. You can tell. You know how you can tell I'm using it? Because it was right with me. Right with me. You guys know I'm working on my handwriting. This is one of the pens I like to use because the flex is decent. Like, it's really good. And I just love the fill mechanism. I love everything about this. Very generous of you. Thank you, my friend. So that was very nice. I have some pens here that are empty. My Lamy Vista is now empty. So it's just empty. I need to fill it up. Got the Z28 in there. I love it, but it's empty. And then I have another video coming up. I kind of felt like this was a public service. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would know this already. Because I like to put little things out there on Instagram so you guys get an advance notice. So I'm comparing these two side by side, which we did a little bit on the live show last week, but I felt like it needed its own video. So bronze versus brass, side by side, point by point. And do I make a determination between these two? You bet I do, because that's just how I am. So I think you'll enjoy that. That's coming too. The hardest thing is keeping up with your comments. Kaylee says Senators are great pens. They are great pens. That's a fantastic choice. So I had a bunch of people message me on Instagram, and they were all saying the same thing, which frankly I was really surprised about. And it was on cool or not cool. Do you guys know about cool or not cool? I'm going to tell you about it. So cool or not cool is this idea that I got. It was inspired by Top Gear. Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson and all them. They had this thing called the Cool Wall. And they would talk about a car like the Bugatti Veyron. And then the three of them would kick it around whether or not it was cool or not cool. And I think there was some middle category. And it was just really fun. And you also learned about the cars because they would talk about them while they were discussing it. So it was something I thought would be fun to do because the channel's been a little heavy lately. You know what I mean? Like talking a lot about mental health, talking a lot about even dark academia. It's pretty serious. The Bronze Age video was pretty serious. So I just thought it might be fun to get something a little lighter, a little bit more fun. We should have fun on this channel, shouldn't we? So I got this desk, put it up parallel to the library, asked my lovely wife to join me, put out a display of pens, went through them one at a time, and I don't want to say argued, but we had spirited discussions as to whether or not they were cool or not cool. So I was putting it up in September, and everybody was DMing me saying, it's summer. Put up the fun summer stuff in summer. You know, September's back to school. That's when you want to do like another dark academia or something. So I was like, yeah, you know, that's probably correct. So I changed my whole schedule up and I moved Cool or Not Cool to August 24th. So you won't have long to wait for that one. And I'm super excited about it. It's different. It's designed to be fun. It's designed to be outrageous. Don't take it too seriously. I love all those pens. So don't be thrown off. Lag Gardner says, I still prefer the brass. The bronze is pretentious. The bronze is aspirationally pretentious. And that's why it matters. But look how it reflects the light. I'll be honest, I love the brass. There's something about nautical brass. It's almost like creamy yellow, where the bronze is like glistens like gold. Now I'm a little bit of a sucker for things that are shiny. So, but I mean, they're both brilliant. It's still a fun video. I think you'll like it. Ooh, Terry Egerton says, I feel you need a Scribo. Scribo is another one that I keep thinking about. The only thing that's holding me back from getting a Scribo is I thought maybe if I go to Italy, I'll pick one up there. And there's a possibility I'm going there soon. So that's the only thing holding me up. Terry Eckenden says, I have both and prefer the bronze. You know, I prefer the bronze too right now, but I think I go back and forth. So some days I'm really into the brass. But it's new, and new things are fun. They're shiny and super fun. So the lineup's really good, guys. I'm really excited about what's coming up. This Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum video is going to be epic. It's going to probably take me 2 weeks, though. And then I'll be filming at the Mount Washington Hotel, too. So that'll be coming up. So it's a lot of stuff coming up, guys. A lot of fun stuff on the channel. So I've been writing with the Egyptomania because this case is just so nifty. I didn't even know they had this. So now I just need to get the ink. And then I have a full set. So Simon Krupa, if you're asking what my pen de jour was, it was this one. I brought this to the office today. I'd like writing with the Egyptomania wherever I am. I don't keep it at home. I'm not too much of a protective person in regard to my pens. I feel like they need to get out too. Ms. Marilyn says the San Francisco Pen Show is coming up pretty soon. It is. I'm really tempted to do Orlando. Philly's in January. I regret missing the DC Pen Show. Seeing all the lovely people that are there, all the people I know, I just felt like I should have been there. Now, I did do other things, and I have a hard time leaving my kid. I do. I don't like to be away from my daughter at night. And that's kind of the problem with me and what's holding me back. Kaylee, looking forward to that, meaning the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum video. I love museums. That's probably pretentious. I bet that person who posted in my comments would think that museums are pretentious, but museums are wonderful. They're just so great to expand your mind and to go adjective shopping, because sometimes I run out of adjectives. I need like lolly. That was an adverb, right? Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. I could use some adverbs too. I'm going down to lolly. Maybe 10 people know what I'm talking about out there. Colorado Pen Show in October would be super fun. Maybe we get a bunch of people and we all take the train together or fly together down to DC next year. Wouldn't that be fun? I think that'd be very, very fun. Puppet Access has an interesting question. Hemingway Jones, have you ever lost a pen that you really regret? Here's an amazing fact. I've been writing with fountain pens since the mid-1990s. I have never lost a pen. I've broken one, but I've never lost one. Now, I might be now calling misfortune upon my head, but I've never done it. I've had pens close to 20 years. I've never lost one. So let's hope that continues. I think people are in for like going down together. Wouldn't it be great? It'd be like a whole posse of us just heading down to the DC Pen Show. David Pruitt says, Lolly, you're giving our ages away. Right? Sincerely. But you never forgot it. You never forgot what an adverb was after you saw that. Oh, Kaylee's got a t-shirt idea. Team Pretentious. I want to do Write Your Way Through It, too. I've never done that. If I ever do merch, it's going to say Write Your Way Through It. But maybe it has to be something pretentious, too. That was kind of one of the reasons why I named the memberships levels what I did. I thought ambassador is a tier. And ambassadors, I thought, because like it's a role, like you're an ambassador, like go tell other people about the channel. Please be an ambassador. And then cognoscenti, very pretentious word. Always have loved it. Use it in a sentence as much as possible. The cognoscenti. I should probably use it more. We're the pen cognoscenti. So I use that for a tier, and then the Illuminati for the highest tier, because there's few things as pretentious as the idea of the Illuminati. So super fun. That was a little pushback, and they're just cool. They're cool names. A lot, some people are like red, blue, green. No, I had to go big. So super fun. Claire Coco said DC was a blast. Can't wait to go again. I saw your stuff on IG on it, Claire. You got to meet Dante Del Vecchio. Pretty great. Would love to do that. So you had a wonderful time. Good for you. Good for you. Thomas Corso. This is interesting. You would think with all the museums and colleges, Boston could support a pen show. Thomas, Boston had a pen show. The Commonwealth Pen Show was in the second week of September every year in Charlestown. Oof. Charlestown. How long have I lived here? And it was canceled this year, but they have since revised it. So they're going to have it, but it's going to take place in some place called Monson, Massachusetts, which is not a place in my frame of reference or my geography. So I don't know if I will be making it to Monson, Massachusetts. I'm trying to find the post because I got a DM on it. I was going to share it with you all, but I get so many DMs that things get buried. Yeah, I can't seem to find it, but I know it was at a Universalist, something like that, church in Monson, Massachusetts. So that's pretty far from Boston, and it's pretty far from everywhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. All right. We're making news. Very late in the show, we're making news. But here it is. Central Massachusetts Pop-Up Show, September 16th. Coming on Saturday, September 16th from 9 to 5, a pop-up pen show located in Central Mass. Low-key, but loads of fun. Okay. Paul Arano, Lindsay Rand, Jim Knight, Jeffrey Krasner, Andy Bellevue, Mick Daigle, Scott Jones, John Corwin, David Nishimura, and Kevin Saucy are the attendees thus far. Admission's $5 per person, free parking. It's at the Unitarian Universalist Parish of Monson at 177 Main Street in Monson, Mass. So there you go. There is a pen show in Massachusetts. Should you choose to go? Thomas Corso says it's outside of Springfield, so yes. Miss Marilyn Darling says, say hi to Mike Deagle if you go and tell Miss Marilyn says hi. It would be pretty extraordinary for me to go that far, to be honest, because I don't like to go far. I'm very sedentary when I have to drive place. So Lots of good stuff. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We said a lot tonight, and I feel like we've probably said enough. But it was wonderful. This was a great show. If you've watched this far, consider subscribing. All the members, I appreciate all your support, all the super chats, all the likes. You guys are lovely. If you are watching the replay, thank you for watching the whole replay. Replays stay up. I don't take them down. They tell you to take them down. The people that know YouTube, they say it hurts your numbers, but I can't figure out any of that stuff. So I'm just doing what's good for you guys and what I think is fun. So these stay up. And I just really appreciate all you guys being here. We're going to keep moving ahead with this channel. We're going to keep wearing our pretentiousness like a badge of honor. We're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep being inspired. We're going to keep learning things. And we're going to do it all together. And you can share it with me. I'll always be here for you guys. I appreciate you all. You keep me energized and motivated. Yeah, everyone's like an hour already. I know, because I used to go an hour and 20, but I'm trying to keep it below an hour now. So I have to go edit video. So, I got to balance everything. So very good stuff. I appreciate you all. So thank you all. I promise, we will see each other again. Further. Oh, Shaq, you're holding up the show now. Thank you, my brother. Shaq MD with a last minute super chat for $10. Keeping us going. It's like a telethon. Telethon? I don't know. Super chat, $10 from the mighty Shaq MD. You guys, if you don't follow Shaq on YouTube, you're missing out. The man has immaculate handwriting. Just a very chill vibe. So everyone follow him. Thanks for the $10. Thanks for all the super chats. You guys are stellar. Thanks for being here. Oh, Terry. Thank you for the gift, Terry. Absolutely lovely. Thank you. All right, folks. See you very soon. Thanks again. You're the best.